I'm saying welcome to House of Israel, Nigeria. At House of Israel, we share 5 unique visions. Our vision is to be a worshiping people. Our vision is to be an evangelistic community. Our vision is to be a discipleship center. Our vision is to be an equipping network. Our vision is to be a worldwide witness of Yeshua the Messiah. This 5 core vision guides and directs our actions and programs at House of Israel, Nigeria. We believe we have been called to catalyze a spiritual awakening in the nations. And through our teachings and programs and publications, we've been able to transform and shape the lives of countless around the world. We want you to continue to pray with us and partner with us in this vision of being a discipleship center of global awakening. We believe we've been called to establish a training facility where people all across Africa and the world can be deeply taught the word of YeHoVaH, taught his commandment, and taught his law, and by so doing, we experience transformation globally. This is our role and this is our job. We believe this to be a lifelong commitment, and we welcome you to be a part with us and to get involved with House of Israel, Nigeria, in making this a reality. To learn more about us, quickly go on our website, www.hoinigeria.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Shalom. Father, thank you. Bless your matchless name. I appreciate you. I give you the praise. I give you the glory. I give you all adoration. May your name be praised. May your name be adored. May your name be glorified. You're sufficient for us, and you're sufficient to us. I pray our eyes be open to see and our ears open to hear. And I declare comprehension by the power of the Ruach. In Yeshua's name. Now, quickly turn with me to the book of Judges, Judges chapter 4. Judges chapter 4, from verse 1. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of YeHoVaH when Ehud was dead. And YeHoVaH sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor. The captain of hosts was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto YeHoVaH, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapitoth, she judged Israel at that time, and she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinom, out of Kadesh, Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not YeHoVaH Elohim of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw towards Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun? And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon, Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariot and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thy hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. Amazing. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thy honor, for YeHoVaH shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh. And he went up with 10,000 men at his feet. And Deborah went up with him. Now this is a profound truth of how leadership is always born out of a need. Wherever you find leadership, you find a need. Leadership is a response to a need. And one of the things we see here as we read the book of Judges is the book of Judges speaks clearly about leadership. And the kind of leadership the book of Judges speaks about is the Elohim kind of leadership. And this leadership of Elohim is released at a time of crisis. Samson, Ehud, Jephthah, Deborah, and all of these names mentioned in the book of Judges are men and women raised by YeHoVaH at the deepest time of crisis in Israel. And this leadership raised by YeHoVaH has a clear function. The function is the redemption of Elohim's people from captivity, and then their restoration back to the covenant of Elohim. Now, mark you the two jobs of the kingdom leaders we see in Judges. First is to restore YeHoVaH's people from captivity. Two things, from captivity, and secondly to return them to the covenant, YeHoVaH's law. And it's Samson, Ehud, Jephthah, Deborah, they have a function. And one of the things we see about this is that these Elohim kinds of leaders, they have a team, the same pattern of power rests upon them. The book of Judges clearly tells us the hand of YeHoVaH was upon these leaders. The spirit of YeHoVaH rested upon them. So you could not be a deliverer of YeHoVaH's people from captivity or even help them find restoration back to the law of YeHoVaH if the spirit of YeHoVaH wasn't resting upon you as a leader. It was the resting of the Ruach that transformed ordinary men into exceptional leaders. The resting upon of the Ruach, age irrespective, gender irrespective, and that's why I showed us Judges chapter 4. Deborah existed in a patriarchal context, a culture where the male, the man, is perceived as the only figure YeHoVaH can speak to. The man, as the head, should be the leader. But after the death of Ehud, in Judges 4, verse 1, there was a season of captivity. Judges 4:3 tells us the children of Israel cried unto YeHoVaH, for the adversary had 900 chariots of iron. It says 20 years the adversary mightily oppressed the children of Israel. 20 years. Think about it. 20 years the adversary oppressed the children of Israel. Don't worry about it, please. 20 years the adversary oppressed the children of Israel. Think about 20 years oppression. Think about 20 years oppression. That means in a gap of 20 years, God could find nobody. After 20 years, we find a space, a gap. A woman named Deborah had yielded herself to the Ruach, and by so doing, she became a judge over Israel. A judge. Look at verse 4. Judges 4:4. Judges 4:4. Judges 4:4. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapitod, she judged Israel at that time. After 20 years oppression, nobody was concerned about if she's female or if she's male. Oppression has dealt with the ego. The male ego has been dealt with by oppression. So it became anybody God would use. So when YeHoVaH raised Deborah as a prophetess and judge over Israel, they had no choice but to receive her leadership function and role. This is to tell you, why was Israel in captivity for 20 years? Judges 4 verse 3. It was not YeHoVaH that allowed them stay that long in captivity. A lot of times when there are no effective leaders, because YeHoVaH acts through people. YeHoVaH walks through people. The counsel and the purpose of YeHoVaH are executed through developed men, developed women. And if there is no person to fill in the gap, a lot of time captivity lingers. After 20 years of captivity to Sisera, a Deborah arose. Deborah set up the military general called Barak. Barak was still fearful. Barak was a man, but he was fearful. Barak makes a statement. Let's look at Judges 4, verse 8. Read verse 8. So instructive. Judges 4, verse 8.
Judges 4, verse 8 says, and Barak said to her, if you will go with me, then I will go. But if you will not go with me, I will not go.
Barak was still a woman. In the eyes of the myopic, you wonder how would Barak say something about a woman. If that will go with me, I'll go. And if that will not go with me, I'll not go. Deborah was a woman. So it wasn't about Deborah. It was about the fact that Barak had a recognition that upon Deborah was the spirit of YeHoVaH. Upon Deborah was the Ruach. So Barak had military strength. He had a voice. He could summon Naphtali and Zebulun, 2 tribes. But he couldn't go without Deborah. Sometimes we summon people, yet it is not the people we summon or gather that will bring about that transformation. It is the people or the person in whom the Ruach rests upon. So one thing that we see about YeHoVaH's kingdom leader, first of all, we see the leadership, there is a need. And secondly, every leader YeHoVaH raises has the spirit of YeHoVaH resting upon them. That's one thing I want to take note of this evening as we go into the school. So once again, welcome to our leadership development school. And this is House of Israel, Nigeria. Our vision is to be a worshiping people. Our vision is to be an evangelistic community. Our vision is to be a discipleship center. Our vision is to be an equipping network. Our vision is to be a worldwide witness of Yeshua, the Messiah. And then I want to welcome you once again to our leadership development school. And this is a 1-hour school. The goal of this school is to help you and I develop the seed of leadership inside of you. There is a seed of leadership inside of you. And YeHoVaH wants to help you discover it. And I'm praying that you will find that seed of leadership inside of you. Last Thursday, I asked that people write essay. Why do you want to be a part of this school? Why do you want to be a part of this school? I'm sure some of you here have your essay written. Why do you want to be a part of this school? Because this is not just the regular gathering. This is a school. And if you will understand the power of this school, is to help you to develop the leadership, kingdom leadership of YeHoVaH in your spirit, and to help you become the man and the woman YeHoVaH wants to be. I got this response from one of our brother Daniel Nango from the US. He said in his own essay, and I'm going to read his own essay, then I'm going to allow others who have in their mind to share with us why you want to be a part of this school. First and foremost, Bro Daniel sent his information. He said, I want to be a part of the leadership development school because I'm called to lead as an I'm called to lead as a Revelation 14:12 Israelite man. Secondly, he said, I need to be called to repentance daily as the ministry does and is centered around Luke 5:32. Number three, brother says, I need to be filled with the Spirit. Ephesians 5 says, I'm being drawn to support HOI. Acts 4:23. Sixthly, he writes, I have a heart for Africa. Mark 16:15. And it says, I'm looking forward to seeing much more accomplishment through the grace of YeHoVaH for ministry worldwide. Acts 1:8. And lastly, he says, I'm waiting to learn more and to be faithful to the Revelation 14:12 covenant. And this is why he wants to be a part of this school. Does anybody here who has something else to say why you are here? Why do you want to be a part of this school? Can I hear you?
Okay. From Deborah English, I said, in my life, there are many experiences that would qualify as life-changing, and taking part of the leadership development course is one of priority. Every new experience changed my life towards learning more about the kingdom, YeHoVaH's laws, status, and order. But the most of it all is aiming towards fulfilling my purpose here on earth for which I'm created. Taking the true gospel out as not just a learner. Taking the true gospel out as not just a learner, but having the ability to be that leader who can teach and impact his ways are extra more fulfilling for me. Taking the leadership development class is one of my life top-notch transformation process. I have an interest to gain viable skills, to develop self and awake the sleeping leader in me. I also want to be motivated towards my call as to the kingdom. Transformation is also one of my bases of enrollment. I want to be transformed so I can do likewise to the upcoming children. I want it to be a legacy of kingdom transformation to my kids at large. Lastly, I also want to succeed in my career path as a philanthropist, gaining the confidence needed.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for that. That was profound. Now, this is so important. You know why it's so important? Now, the question I'll pose to us today is, why is leadership important? Why is leadership important?
Leadership is important because a leadership, I believe that anyone that is a leader is chosen by God. As he chose Moses in his own time. And being a leader is not just a call. When you find yourself as you have the gift and everything that is about God will be hungering you, and you'll be thirsty of anywhere you see where there is struggle, so that leadership will be accomplished. Because leadership is not just a seat. It's not common seat.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Now, profound. One thing I want us to know is that we are all at the center stage of what Elohim is doing. We are the center stage of what Elohim is doing. Say after me, say, we are at the center stage of what Elohim is doing. Say, I am at the center stage of what Elohim is doing.
Now, so it means Elohim is doing something. Now, for you to be at the center stage of what Elohim is doing, that itself positions you to be a leader. Why? It is commonly said that a leader is one who influences others to do what they would never have been able to do by themselves. So a leader influences others to do what they would never have been able to do by themselves. But I would love to say to us that a leader is one who shows the way. He knows the way and he shows the way. A leader is one who knows the way and shows the way. And those who are interested in the way will seek out for a leader to help them discover the way. A leader is one who knows the way and shows the way. By so doing, he's one at the center stage of the activities of God. Now, quickly turn with me to the book of Revelation. No, Proverbs, rather, not Revelation. Proverbs. Let's turn to Proverbs. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Proverbs 29, 18. Are you there? It says, where there is no vision, where there is no what? Vision. What happens? What happens? So there's darkness. Are you reading the Bible? You are quoting from your no quoting here. A leader knows the way, so you have to find what is said and say it as it is said in his word. Proverbs 29, verse 18. Proverbs 29, verse 18. It says, where there is no vision. No vision. Are you serious? The people perish. It means at the core of leadership, there is the knowledge of two things: vision and the repercussion and the danger of being without vision. It says, where there is no vision, at the heart of true leadership is a vision. At the heart of true leadership is a vision. Why? A leader is one who knows the way, who shows the way. So it says, where there is no vision, people perish. So in order for people not to perish because they have no vision, YeHoVaH will often give that vision to one man. There could be 10 members of a family, and YeHoVaH will go past to the 10 members of the family and give one person the vision. In a region, community where there's darkness, evil, and all forms of chaos, YeHoVaH will pass through the thousands of people in the community and find one Deborah. That's what we see in Judges chapter 4. YeHoVaH will pass through a family and find Gideon. He will pass through a tribe and find Caleb. He passed through people and find Jephthah. YeHoVaH finds people in the moment of crisis, and what does he do? He gives them a vision. That vision becomes a light through which they help others find a way. Because of the vision, he becomes the shower of the way. Because why? In a region where there's no vision, people will perish. The perishing is not because the demons, they are strong. You know, we often say, that region, the demons are mighty demons. No, there are no mighty demons. They are only people short of vision. He would have said, where there are demons who perish. You see, if the Bible translation of verse tells us where there is no vision, or where there is demons, they will perish. You see many Christians, that many Christians will quote those. You know what? The Bible says, when there's demons who perish, therefore let's bind demons, let's pray, let's fast again. Your fan attention will be focused so much on demons. But now, because when there's no vision who perish, how many people who cry about vision? Nobody, few people.
They will not even know what vision is all about.
But if you have said where there is demons, people perish, this verse will be all over town. Because the emphasis will be on the demons. But the emphasis is supposed to be on the vision. Now it says where there is no vision, who is asking why? Why are we perishing in this community? Why are we perishing in this region? Perhaps it could be the lack of vision. That's why, as we deal with these developments that YeHoVaH wants to cause to happen in you and I, YeHoVaH wants to begin to give you a vision. And a challenging thing about this vision is that this vision is not just, this vision is strategic. This vision is a special kind of a vision. The Hebrew word used for vision is the word chazon. Chazon. It says the word chazon is from the Hebrew chazar. It means a sight mentally. It even means a dream, a revelation, an oracle. This vision we see here is God-given. It's God-given. It's a God-bettered vision. It is a vision that the Almighty is obligated to give to a man. You know, I'm often challenged when I see so much money spent on strategic planning. Then we have Center for Urban Planning, where government disperses plenty of millions of naira, urban planning, and yet there are no urban developments.
Okay.
Center for, I see conferences, national conferences in Belgium. Government will send delegates to those places, yet there's underdevelopment. We spend so much, most of us have spent so much in career development. You went to secondary school, you went to university, and many people read 4 years in training in their schooling, and then they leave the school system and they are not productive. Sometimes when I drive around big universities that are involved in research, I say, well, how come they spend so much on research and we are still backward as a nation? Research.
As a scientist.
Not just scientists. There's research as scientists, and there's research in the area of infrastructure development, political development, and technology, every area. But yet all of this research many times ends in futility. And there are those right now who are taking money from government, claiming, yes, we are doing this research, we are doing this statistic, we are doing this investigation, all of those things they are doing, and then all of this is, we don't see their reflection in daily lives. And most of us will say, yes, I don't want to school in Nigeria, in Africa. I want to go to school in Harvard. I want to go to school in Germany. I want to go to school in Ukraine. How many of our elites who are schooled abroad have been able to provide solutions to the national problems of our nation? Many times when I hear the Vice President of Nigeria speak so eloquently, you know, at the inception, I felt, wow, perhaps his eloquence and his pedigree will bring about strategic transformation in Nigeria. But now I see that if we can have a president who is illiterate, who is unschooled, who doesn't even have an idea of development, and we have a vice president who is a graduate, a doctor, professor, behind a man who is barely enlightened. That tells you something. Our GDP, gross domestic products, they call it. Our economic policies. The CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, have done different strategic plans on how to boost the economy, how to lift the economy. None has worked. That tells you, when it comes to transformation, YeHoVaH has to drop a vision in your heart. And that's why I want you to take this thing seriously. Some of you feel because I'm not educated, that means I'm less. You think education is the primary thing for your impartation or transformation. No. It did not say in Proverbs 29:18 that where there's no education, people perish. It didn't say where there's no school, people perish. It didn't say where there's no money, people perish. It says where there's no vision, people perish. It means the first thing you need to be transformed or to be a transformer is you need a vision. A vision. And this vision has to come from the Creator. If not, you'll be speaking English. If not, you'll be eloquent, but untransforming. A kingdom leader has to gaze mentally, to perceive, to contemplate specifically, to have a vision that is from Elohim. A kingdom leader has to have a vision that is from Elohim. As long as you don't have that vision, he says you perish. Because where there's no vision, people perish. And this vision is what YeHoVaH wants to reveal to you and I. And this vision will come into your heart by YeHoVaH's Spirit. And I said it. I said the book of Judges is a classic display of YeHoVaH raising leaders at the point of crisis. That every crisis is an opportunity for a leader to emerge. That whenever there is crisis, there is an opportunity. And leaders are those who see opportunity in crisis. As long as you don't see opportunity in crisis, it shows you have no vision. YeHoVaH's leaders are raised in crisis. And once he raises leaders, he gives them specific plan for their life. Moses, a plan, bring Israel out of Egypt. Joshua, a plan, take them into the promised land and divide the inheritance. Samson, a plan, confront the Philistine. Deborah, a plan, bring YeHoVaH's people out of the bondage of Sisera. Every leader has a strategic, specific plan of what they are born to do. It comes by vision. Do you have the vision? So when YeHoVaH gives you this vision, the vision begins to lead you to lead yourself. That's why I'll stop today. Because we are still in the introduction of this school. I will just keep taking you round to try to understand need. Need. What is the need around you? It's a need. Whenever there's a need, God raises a leader. Don't forget that. Whenever there's a need, YeHoVaH will raise a leader. A crisis is a birth of a leader. A crisis. And how does YeHoVaH lead? Cause you to navigate through crisis. He gives you a vision. a vision. This vision is not borrowed from somebody's vision. This vision is not a borrowed vision. This vision is not gotten from television. It comes into your heart by the Spirit of YeHoVaH, of a specific thing YeHoVaH is calling you to fulfill. And once you now catch this vision, you become one who shows the way. Because why? You are one who knows the way, you show the way. A leader knows the way and shows the way. A leader knows the way and he shows the way. So in conclusion, when YeHoVaH gives you this vision, something happens in you. You start first leading yourself. That's what happened to me when I caught a vision. You start leading yourself. That means if you are one who eats too much, that vision starts changing you, telling you, hey, you can't eat too much. If you're one who sleeps too much, the vision starts telling you, you can't sleep too much. If you're one who, if you're so disorganized, the vision of YeHoVaH begins to cause you to lead yourself. Before long, people now see you and say, wow, you act like a leader, you talk like a leader, you look like one. Because why? A vision transforms the visioneer. Before a visioneer can show others the way, he must first have been transformed by the vision. So if your life is scattered, you don't show up on time, you are so disorganized, you are fearful, you are doubtful, you have low self-esteem, low self-worth, you are always grumbling, complaining, then you are not yet aligning with your true self. That vision YeHoVaH gives a leader is like a mirror. It is that vision that becomes a guiding force in you becoming, look at Deborah, for God's sake. Look at Deborah. Deborah was raised by God in a time when men were considered rulers, influencers. God raised Deborah, and she did not walk in low self-esteem. She didn't have a low self-worth of herself. She truly believed in herself. Because why? The vision God gives you will first transform you. The vision YeHoVaH gives you will first transform you. It will first change you. So as we go this evening, my prayer for you is, as you go to this school, ask YeHoVaH, say, YeHoVaH, your word says, where there's no vision, people perish. Give me a vision. Show me that vision. The vision of what you want me to do. The vision of the kind of man or woman you want me to be. The vision of my destiny. That vision is what saves you from perishing. Because where there is no vision, people perish. Let's bow our heads right now. Ask for vision. It says, where there is no vision, Proverbs 29:18, where any place, any family, any life, any nation, where this vision is absent, where there is no vision, people perish, and you don't want to perish. And you want to lead people who are perishing out of their condition into deliverance. We need a vision. Say, Abba, grant me a vision. Grant me that vision, that life-changing vision. Thank you, Father. I bless your name, YeHoVaH. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let men be impacted with vision today and transformed by this vision in Yeshua's precious name. Amen. Hallelujah. Next week Thursday, 5 p.m. Please let's try it very early, and so we can begin promptly. And so this will be a life-changing process. Now we have this material, leadership development book 1, and then book 2. So this is a material we're using to go through this school. And I bet you by the time you're through this school, more doors will open for you. Because you will now know how to handle those doors. You will now know how to interact at the level of your breakthrough. You now become more on the inside. And when you become more, God gives you more. So it's up to you. So I want to see you next Thursday for our leadership development class. And that one also just drop it in the basket as you go. Thank you so much for being a part of this school today. And we want to ask you to pray for this ministry, pray for the work you're doing, and pray for every student that they will be constantly eager and hungry to be trained and to be equipped so they can fulfill the purpose of YeHoVaH. In Yeshua's mighty name we pray. Amen. So take up question, write this question. The homework for next Thursday. What is the definition of a leader? What is the definition of a leader? And second question, how can you describe the leadership role of Deborah in Judges chapter 4? First question, what is leadership? Who is a leader? What is leadership? And secondly, what is a leadership? How do you describe the leadership role of Deborah? So next Thursday we'll explore, and I want you to study and bring back answers so you can interact next Thursday on that particular subject. Any question? Do you have any question? You said what? Judges chapter 4. Judges chapter 4. So that will help you go through it. When you get home, just read through Judges chapter 4 and chapter 5. It will tell you more about the woman Deborah. Thank you so much. See you next Thursday. God bless you.